What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the show recap with Mo. Well, we're getting ready to get into another episode breakdown of Tyler Perry's Sistas. But before we get into this thing, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss shit snit that's going down right here, alright? So the episode we're getting ready to get into is Season 7, Episode number 3, titled Grand Openings and Closing. Now, the synopsis for this episode states, Karen's grand opening is full of surprises. Andi feels the pressure at work as her dealings with Gary may end her career. Damn. Anyway, let's go ahead and kick it off, man. So we kick this scene off at the law firm where we see Fatima is patiently waiting for Andi to show up. When she shows up, you can already tell that there's an issue because Fatima's like, where the hell have you been? She was like, what's good? Like, what's all the commotion going on? She was like, your man, your ex-man, you know what I'm saying, is the problem. He's the reason why all of this commotion is going on. She's like, what in the heck are you talking about? Fatima's like, look, Andi, he's being investigated by the FBI. The FBI? Yeah, the FBI, girl. Like, what's going on? So anyhow, Andi's like, oh, there's no way in the world that you're talking about my Gary. Gary's an upstanding citizen. He runs his business as a legit businessman. No, he doesn't. Not this Gary. Never has been that Gary. Maybe at one time, but Fatima's like, not today. Not today. That's the reason why we got all this going on right now. Andi can't believe it, and she's telling her, look, you need to get your ducks in a row, and you need to figure out what the hell you gonna say when they come and question you, because they're gonna question every daggone body in here. As a matter of fact, we got the big wigs coming in here, all them old-ass white men, they coming in here to find out what's going on with their money, because there's a chance that the whole damn law firm can go down. Damn. I'm sorry, I just couldn't help myself. But anyhow, moving on from there. While the ladies are still there conversing or whatnot, in walks Hayden. Now, Hayden walks up there, putting his arms around the sisters, and he was like, what's good? They was like, man, what the hell do you want? He was like, look, you know, if anybody's been in close contact with Gary, it's been you. You should be the one worried about this whole situation. They're like, oh, no, but you've done business with Gary. He was like, as a matter of fact, you're right. But all the business that we've done together has been legit business. And it's like, well, the same for me as well. He was like, are you sure? Before she opens her mouth to utter another word any further, Fatima's like, this could be wearing a wire. You need to calm the hell down with what you're about to say. So anyhow, he's like, look, we're both actually on the same side this time. This time we're on the same side. And I just need to make sure that when they come to you, that you don't say nothing about me, just like I ain't gonna say shit about you. So Andy's like, okay, cool, we can do that. We can definitely do that. So anyhow, next we head over to Danny's crib where we see her vacuuming, cleaning up the crib or whatnot. Tony's still in the bed asleep. He gets up and he's like, what in the hell is going on? Long story short, Danny had reached out to the doctor. The doctor stated that she had an availability today. So Danny is now cleaning up the apartment because the apartment smells like sex and she just needs to clean up and get that smell up out of there and, you know, just get some things together. Tony's like, look, everything is good. He's putting on his clothes and he was like, yeah, you're good. You're going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Just tell her how you're feeling about what you're going through, all of that stuff. Whoa. She was like, look, so you're not going to help me? He was like, no, I got you. You look good. Everything good. While he putting on his pants and didn't even put on his shoes, he walked the hell up out. But before he leaves, he tells her to go ahead and text Karen to wish her congrats on her grand opening of her brand new salon, right? So anyhow, she was like, damn, like she forgot about the situation because all of the stuff that was going on. So anyhow, she attempts to call the doctor, but the doctor doesn't pick up. And the next thing we hear is a couple of knocks on the door. Danny goes over to open the door, and it just so happens to be the doctor by the name of Creisha. Now, when Creisha comes in, you know, Danny's a little awkward, right? So, you know, with Creisha, or let me be respectful, Dr. Creisha comes in, and, you know, Danny acting so daggone awkward right now. Dr. Creisha turns around looking at her. Danny's looking at her. Creisha's looking at her. Danny's looking at her like, don't start none, won't be none, right? So So going on from there, we head over to the salon where we see Karen and Pam. Now, Pam is all on her phone on social media, trying to talk about the grand opening of the new salon. And, Karen is like, if you don't put that daggone phone down and help me get this place together before everyone shows up. While they're in the midst of conversating, though, the power goes out. I was like, hell no. I said, this is a brand new spot. And all of a sudden, the power going out, did you not pay your bills? Or did the electrical work go out? Which one was it? So while they're in the midst of calling somebody to come and fix it, in walks this lady by the name of Shayna. Now when Shayna comes in, Shayna's like, right on time. I was like, right on time for what? Did I miss that memo? What are you on time for? She was like, I'm here to see Karen. Pam is like, well, we're not open yet. She was like, oh, well, you may not be open yet. I was like, I said, it's about to get good. It's about to go down, right? So Karen comes over and she was like, yeah, I'm the owner of the shop. She was like, good. I'm actually the owner of the building. And the reason why I'm here today is because your auto draft didn't go through. And Karen is looking at her like, oh, there must be a problem because I actually got the money in the account. You know how we like to say that. Yeah, the money was in the account yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It was there. When I checked it, it was there. Now, if you ain't get your money when it was time to get it, then you should have got it when it was good. But anyhow, she was like, look, I will make sure to give you your money tomorrow. The lady was like, no, I need my money today. Unless you want to have this grand opening with the lights out. Ain't nothing coming on. So I'm like, damn, Miss Shayna done took it back. She done cut off the electricity. And she like, look, if you want your lights back on, you need to give me my money. And I was like, damn, she done turned off the lights. Turn them off. Man, anyhow, man, moving on from there, man. I'm being silly tonight, man. But I hope that you guys are enjoying this one because I am. So anyhow, we head back over to the law firm where we see Hayden in his office, and now he's receiving a phone call from Gary. Now, Hayden ain't trying to talk to Gary at all because he's trying to save his ass. He ain't trying to have no conversation, but he picks up that phone like, what in the hell do you want? You know how you talk through your teeth? And he was like, what do you want, man? What do you want? And Gary's like, I need your help. And he was like, oh, man, I ain't got nothing for you, man. You need to leave me the hell alone because I ain't trying to get wrapped up in your you know what I'm saying? And Gary was like, oh, so you like that? He was like, yeah. I thought we were good, but I didn't know that your money wasn't legit. And he was like, look, man, I ain't got time for this. And he hangs up on him. And then all of a sudden, he was like, man, I ain't got time for that. And then he says, I also don't have time for you when the camera pans over to Tamara's fine ass. I was like, oh, I was like, oh, where'd she come from? And she got on this blue dress, and she stands up. She looking good. It's been a long time, Tamara. Looking good, girl. Oh, let me get back on track. Oh, so she's talking to him, and Hayden's like, look, we ain't there yet, but she comes over. She gets up. She walks over towards Hayden. He's rubbing her feet, massaging her feet, taking off her shoes and shit. And I'm like, uh-oh. And now Hayden is sitting over there massaging her feet, and she put her feet in between his legs and all of this. And I was like, hold on, Hayden, stand on business. If you say you don't want her, if you say you don't want to be with her, stand on it. Say it with your chest. But obviously, you missed her like you said. You want that old thing back. So go on and say it with your chest, man. Look, let's work this thing out. Let's work it out. Going on from there, next we see Andi and Fatima. Now, Andi's in her office nervous as hell. Fatima has to come in to reassure her that everything is going to be good, but you need to get your story together because you're not responsible for the shit that Gary was doing. And she's like, yeah, you're right. No, I didn't have nothing to do with that. I'm just going to tell them the truth. Fatima's like, oh, that's what you're going to do? You just going to go in there and tell them the truth? Y'all see how I said that, the truth? And she said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And Fatima's like, no, you need to get your story together. But also, by the way, since we're talking about your story, let's talk about your property. Like the penthouse that you living in right now, the car that you driving around in, whose name is that in? She was like, oh, that's in my mind. Get your stuff together, Andi. Yeah, that's in my name. And she was like, well, I should be good. Fatima's like, well, just in case you don't understand how this is about to go down, if they're able to link this back to the funny money and they find out that he bought those things with the funny money, then you're going to have to give that back. You understand how that works? And Andy's like, oh, okay. So next we head over to see Sabrina at the bank. Now, let me go ahead and deal with the elephant in the room. Who in the hell is this branch manager? She getting on my daggone nerve. Like, let this woman breathe. Like, you on her every second, every minute of the daggone day. Like, she can't talk to anybody at a personal level. And this woman is like, I'm watching me. You see what I'm saying? And Rich comes in. He wants to apologize. Sabrina is like, look, you didn't have to leave me. I understand I was acting out of character or whatnot. Maybe it was the drinks that I had, whoop. But you didn't have to leave. And I do believe that, he owes her an apology for leaving the way that he left. But she scared the man as well. Like, you acting wild. You asking the man for a semen and all this stuff. Of course, he's going to feel some type of way about it. But y'all don't need to talk about it right here because old girl to the right is listening to every daggone thing, right? And then when Rich is getting ready to leave, he tells her, hey, just meet me over at the juice bar. Old girl says, yeah, better his job than yours. I was like, what? Are we? I think eventually that Sabrina is going to have a breakdown. Now, it could be one or two. It could be one where she just cusses the lady out. She throws some expletives around and, she feels better about the situation. She may lose her job, but she going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Because she got her dignity. Now, it could be the other side where she beat that ass. Now, I don't think Sabrina is that type of woman, but it could come down to something like that as well. I would be interested in the latter, but we know that's not her. That's not her at all. But anyhow, maybe she can have somebody else come up there and do it for her. But anyhow, going on from there, we head over to the salon where we see Trey coming back in to pick up the stuff that Pam had ordered previously, and then he's throwing game at Karen. And Karen is like, look, thank you for coming through. He was like, yeah, call me anytime, whoop, whoop, whoop. But, I don't want your baby's father getting upset at me and all that stuff like that. Pam is like, hey, she ain't got no man. Karen is like, what the hell? But anyhow, Karen, let's be honest. Say it with your whole chest and the belly. I'm just saying, just say it. Like, you checking old boy out, and he's checking you out. So he's throwing it at you. He's already told you, like, hey, I'm feeling you in some type of way. He said it in more ways than one. So as he's walking out, Karen is watching him, talking about she ain't feeling him. She ain't interested in him, but she definitely feeling his vibes right now. Anyhow, going on from there, as we're still at the shop, we see Sabrina showing up. Then I think it's Danny, and then Andi finally shows up before the shop actually opens up. But while we're talking about these sisters right here, Danny, that daggone outfit that Danny had on, had me like, Danny, daggone, I know Tony didn't let you come out like that. Shit, I know he didn't see you come out like that. Anyhow, the sisters decide to apologize. Karen is feeling some type of way because no one was there to assist her with setting up the shop. And she should feel some type of way because she's already told y'all that she was setting up the shop and that she needed some assistance, but no one ever showed, obviously. So it was just she, herself, and Pam. Well, really, it was just herself because Pam was on social media. So she was like, and then, oh yeah, she was really messed up with the whole situation with the girls' dinner with Fatima being at the table. So she throws that up and all the sisters are like, oh yeah, this is what it's about. Karen is like, oh no, that's not what it is. Yes, it is. That's part of the problem. Also, you're mad because no one came to help you or assist you with this situation. And then she walks off. I was like, what the hell? So anyhow, outside we see Zack. Now, Zack is outside practicing what he's about to say to Karen. He got a bouquet of flowers in his hands, and he's trying to talk himself through what he needs to say, definitely when it comes to asking her about this paternity test once again, because Fatima's like, look, we need to get this done pronto so we can know exactly what's going down. So anyhow, while he's practicing, in walks Miss Lisa. Now, Miss Lisa, you got to be more careful, because if Zack was a man like me, you could have got popped real quick, like pow pow, like real quick. And what she did to me was disrespectful, even though what she was saying was very true. What she could have done differently is knocked on this man's door, allowing him to invite you into his vehicle, and then have this conversation. But for you to just feel like you have the right and the authority to jump into my property, say what you need to say, then tell me to just go home. Go home. She needs a man that's single, and you've already told her that you were not single. I get it. You are trying to protect your daughter. I get it. But you not no boss hog like that. She's sitting up here talking about you need to set boundaries between yourself and Karen so you don't confuse things, which I agree with. But I also feel like, Miss Lisa, you need to set a boundary between me and my car. Because you shouldn't have jumped your happy ass up in my car without any repercussions, if you want to be honest. All right? But out of respect, we're going to let you live today. Going on from there, man. We see Gary and Penelope. Now, this is where it starts getting real funky right here. Because we see Gary acting like nothing is going down when you know this has been stressing all damn day. Penelope's sitting there talking to him, well, I'm glad that you called me. Thank you for the apologies. He was like, look, well, I bought you your favorite salad from your favorite restaurant, all this stuff. And then this has the audacity to sit over there, brings the salad out, and then intentionally drops it on this lady's dress to get her to stand up and to leave the room so this can go through her purse, take her information out from her credit cards and all of her personal information, places it back in there, and then has the nerve to sit back on the desk and act like he was emotional. I'm like, this is a professional schemer right here. Like, this dude is beyond, man. Like, I knew he was bad, but damn, like, this dude right here is something serious. Like, for real. For this man to scheme and take people's money, take this lady's personal information, a lady that he claims to like, for real, not love, but seriously like, and to take advantage of this woman that is carrying this man's child. He has no care in the world about her nor this baby. He's only looking out for self. Man, I don't know. As I stated yesterday, man, in my video, it may be him on that gurney. It just may be him, because all this that he's doing right now, I would not be surprised at all if somebody took him out. I'm just dead ass, man. Going on from there, we head back over to Karen's salon, where we see her cutting the ribbon for her grand opening for her new salon. We see the ladies giving her a gift, and they're just talking about everything that went down, how everything was going with the relationships. Karen comes over knowing that they're talking about her, but she's cool because she knows how they get down. And she was like, look, I'm just glad y'all were able to show up, unlike other people. Danny's like, hold on, wait a minute. What people are you talking about? Like, we needs to be more specific. She was like, well, I'm talking about Zack. She was like, oh, yeah, he's supposed to be here. Karen is like, yeah, definitely, because he's the father of my child. Danny's like, yeah. Now, we already know how Danny feels about that situation. So, anyhow, while the girls are celebrating Karen, Andi receives a phone call from Tima telling her to get back to the office quick because she just heard her name being mentioned. So next, we see Sabrina coming to the juice bar, where we see her and Rich having a conversation. He tells her, look, you already know my situation. I grew up in a big-ass family. I had, all of these kids up under me, like I was the oldest child, the oldest sibling, and I felt like I've had a part in raising all of these damn kids. And in my life, I just did not foresee myself having kids because I've always been around so many daggone kids to begin with. And Sabrina's like, well, I understand your stance on it. And then she was like, look, I'm going to try to work through it. And I'm like, damn it, Sabrina, like, why would you do this? Like, you've always thought about being a mother. Now you're going to just sacrifice what you've always wanted so you can be with Rich? Like, that's not a compromise. Not at all. Because there's only one person that's giving up what they want. But anyhow, we're going to talk about that a little bit later in another video because I believe that it is imperative that we deal with that situation. Because that's not right for Sabrina to be the only one that's giving up what she's always hoped for and what she's always dreamed of, right? So going on from there, though, we head over to see Zack and Fatima. Now, when Zack comes back into the crib, Fatima's getting ready to leave. She sees the flowers in his hands. I guess she was assuming they were for her. But then Zack tells her, no, they're actually for Karen's grand opening. She was like, oh, hell no. What is that about? Like, why didn't you tell me? Like, she's giving him the 10th degree right now because he did not convey this information to her. And she's already feeling some type of way about this situation. Plus, she needs to get that paternity test done. Now, Zack makes no sense. He's stating, well, I'm actually bringing the flowers over there so I can sweet talk her into, going over here right around the corner to get this paternity test done. Fatima's like, so you're going to do that on her grand opening day? Like, this is supposed to be a day about Karen and her new business venture, and you're going to spring this upon her today. And Zack is like, that's what I was thinking about doing, springing it upon her today so we can go ahead and get this test done so you can be happy, we can all be happy. That ain't gonna work, bro. Fatima's like, look, I need you to get it done, but that's not going to work. Secondly, I didn't get it done because her mom jumped in the vehicle and told me that I needed to go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Fatima actually agreed with the mother, which I did as well. Y'all need boundaries. Y'all need to set boundaries. That's the reason why you're in this predicament right now with this child in her belly, because you did not set boundaries. You ended up in her office, knocking her up against the wall, doing what you do for about 5 to 10 minutes. And now you got this situation because you did not set boundaries. All right. So anyhow, I agree with that. Anyhow, going on from there. So we head back over to Gary's office where we see Hudson is working on the computer and we see Gary is ranting in his office, talking about Andi, talking about Hayden, talking about every damn body, right? And Hayden's working on the computer. He was like, it's done. Like, what's done? What are you talking about? He was like, look, Penelope's life insurance has been updated, and you also have access to all of her accounts. I'm like, damn. For real, bro? So what are you about to do to Penelope? Once again, Gary, what are you about to do to this woman who is carrying your child? When I thought this brother could not stoop any lower, this is the lowest of lowest. Like, what are you about to do to the mother of your child? Like, damn. Anyhow, going on from there, we see Andi and Fatima. Now, Andi is trying to figure out what to do. She's telling Fatima, look, this is what I'm going to tell them. Fatima, as I told you before, is like, that ain't going to work. Secondly, we need to figure out what else to say. Andi decides to call, what's his name? Hayden. Hayden ain't picking up, but he's able to text her. He was like, look, I'm good. I'm in here acting like I'm working, whoop, whoop, whoop. But he also tells her that, hey, Mr. Leland brought your name up about 3 times in a meeting. And he's like, look, you need to get that together. So Mr. Leland is actually walking by Andi's office at the same time. Andi tells Fatima to go out and fetch Mr. Lehman, brings him in the office. Mr. Lehman got some words for Andi that Miss Andi wasn't ready for, right? So he was like, look, I've told all the board members, and I'm going to continue to tell them about your sleazy behavior, your sleazy ways. Because of your sleazy ways, this whole company, this whole law office can go under. And it's all because of your sleazy ways with that man, Gary. She was like, hold on, wait a minute. Like you ain't gonna be calling me too many more sleazies. And he called her that one more time, and then all of a sudden he had a heart attack. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. This the big one. I was like, oh man, come on, Mr. Leland. And she's screaming through the window like we able to hear her through the window. I was like, come on, Andi, use your mind. Anyhow, that's pretty much it, man. That's the end of the episode. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this recap. I told y'all I was going to get it done tonight. My brother is on it, man. With all this weather, man, this coldness, I hope that you guys are bundled up, warm and safe, and enjoying this content right here, man. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss shit that's going down right here. Until next time, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.